August 3rd, 1941. Much like Guderian, von Kleist as well has had to slow down the pace of its advance over the past few weeks, as the logistics of the 1st Panzer Group, and I would say more in general, the logistics of the entire Army Group South was and still is tied down to just one double-tracked railway line. This inevitably allowed the Red Army's southern front to retreat in a relatively good order, but at the same time it allowed the Germans to save and stockpile the fuel needed to sustain at least one major push. Given the recent counterattack of the Red Army against the right wing of Army Group Center, and given the fact that Guderian is now descending southwards from Roslav, the time has come for von Kleist to launch his major push. And therefore, this week, the 1st Panzer Group emerges from the breachhead over the Dnieper north of Cherkasy and races northwards to link up with Guderian's 2nd Panzer Group and to seal the biggest pocket ever. Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to officially the last episode of this new week in War in the East 2, and as always we have a look at what happened in the sector of Army Group South. And yeah, before going straight to the action, I apologize for having hit the microphone while recording the introduction. I don't know why I've been trying to record that introduction for so many times, and no matter what, every time I would always do something wrong, and at the end I was just so fed up with myself and I said, fine, you know what, screw me and screw the microphone. I said, fine, okay, let's just keep it the way as it is. And yeah, so before going straight into the action of the 1st Panzer Group, this week I decided to do something rather unusual, which is, or let's say, which was, to start moving around the troops from, let's say, the Romanian front. Yes, I also did move the Hungarians, which, yeah, have been standing there since a couple of weeks, and then I began the redeployment of the Romanian armies of the 3rd Romanian Army eastwards to link up with the German 11th one and to hopefully relieve it. Interestingly, in the sector of the 11th Army, I noticed this, let's say, kind of lonely mechanized division in the port northeast of Odessa. I didn't understand why did the Soviet AI transfer a mechanized division there while it could have been more useful in, let's say, other sectors of the front. But again, of course, you know, it's the AI. The AI can teleport all of its units in and out, and I said, okay, fine, screw it. I don't want to attack this mechanized division because for me it makes absolutely no sense. And so I said, okay, let's just leave it there. And I am pretty confident that next turn the AI will just evacuate it and will not use it to launch any kind of counterattack against the very exposed rear of the German 11th Army. And then I approached the infantry of the 1st Panzer Group and then the infantry of the 17th Army. And with aforementioned infantry, I began blasting my way through the Soviet defenses. To, let's say, make my task easier, I always attacked with 2 infantry divisions on one single hex, with a mixture of hasty and deliberate attacks, with the goal of just exactly opening a gap, or let's say 2 gaps, in the enemy lines, and then launch my mobile reserves into a very first encirclement, which was whose goal was to take into a small pocket as many Soviet divisions as possible, which was quite, I would say, successful. And this was successful thanks to the intervention of the 14th Motorized Army Corps as well as the 48th one. And as the pocket, I would say, west of Dnipropetrovsk was now completed, well, the glorious task of sealing the largest pocket ever in human history fell upon the men of the 3rd Motorized Army Corps. Von Mackesen's men, the very same ones who a couple of weeks ago entered into Kyiv with almost a coup de main. And precisely those very same men, they sealed the biggest pocket ever, and also they paid enough attention to include that tiny poor rifle division which was, let's say, on its way back to the motherland to be refitted, and the speed of the German advance once again prevented that poor, lonely, single rifle division, that routed rifle division, to be redirected eastwards and to leave to fight another day, let's say. And with the 3rd Motorized Army Corps spreading northeastwards to secure a corridor thick enough to prevent the enemy from, on one hand, attacking the pocket from the east, and on the other hand, fighting its way out from the west, I would say, let's say, I called it a week for Army Group South. And as always, folks, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I wish you all the best, and well, stay tuned until next week.